Joining me today on Doctor's Corner are two special guests, Dr. Danial Deheshi and his partner and wife, Fereshta. They're here today to talk about their brilliant careers, their dental practice, and what is preventive dentistry. And I'm so excited to have you both here. Welcome.
We're really excited to be on your show today. I've been practicing in Burnaby for the last 18 years. Quite blessed to share most of that career with my wife and life partner, Fereshta. We're both in the industry and we decided to start our own practice together. And here we are today. Thanks for having us.
Congratulations, 18 years, and you won so many awards. So tell us about some of your awards.
Oh my goodness. I say that we are very blessed and humbled to have received as many as we have. I truly believe that the awards are a side effect of what we love to do on a daily basis every day. Again, we're truly humbled for sure. Thank you.
You know, we started this practice, it sounds cliche, but not chasing awards. We really wanted to, we had a sense of a brand and an experience we wanted to give our patients. Early when we had our first child, after we decided to go on our own and start our own practice, and we gave the best of ourselves for what we do. A great experience, excellent dentistry, and somewhere along the way, these awards started to show up. First, as mentioned, we consider them in a joking way as a side effect of our success because our goal is to come and be better versions of ourselves every day and give our patients a great experience. So when different bodies recognize that, it's quite humbling and a reminder for why we do what we do. So they're quite, it's a neat experience to have them come because you never expect them. They just show up. It's great.
Awesome. When was that pivotal moment that you said, I want a career in dentistry? Why was that the right choice?
For me personally, I've had a lot of my background comes from finance, and I love arts and design and being creative. But when I learned about dentistry, I've had some family members that have been there, and when I learned about dentistry, I felt like, wow, this is something that I can combine the two of them together and be able to apply many years of customer service and the financial sector into dentistry and building our own practice.
Yes.
A lot like Fereshta. I mean, I started most of my interest in health sciences. As young as I remember, I wanted to be a doctor of some sort because I cared about biology and health sciences, but I also wanted to help. That always was ingrained in my nature. Along the way, I proceeded to study different courses, and on the side, I had a keen interest for business as well, always studying and learning about entrepreneurship, but as well learning the aspects of operating a business. When I started to study different aspects of healthcare, I realized business encompasses a lot of that. It's entrepreneurship, healthcare, as well as some aspect of arts and all too. So that really seemed to be interesting. I spent some time researching the field, and looking back now, no regrets. It seems like it was perfectly destined for myself, and I'm quite proud to find someone who seems to enjoy it just as much as I do.
Absolutely. I love doing what we do for sure.
Yes, and I mean, looking around in your office is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So it's like, how do you complement arts and dentistry? How does that?
To me, arts and dentistry complement each other in a very meaningful way. And coming from a background of arts and design, I was so blessed to be able to apply the two of them together. There's a little bit of creativity involved, as long as on the same note as being creative and playing with colors and design. So I was able to design our practice. Of course, I feel so blessed and humbled to be able to do that, making sure that I bring the aesthetic and the creativity together, and do it in a way where we are able to bring an environment that's looking aesthetically beautiful, that's welcoming, that's also relaxing for patients, and they feel like more like a spa feel rather than being in a dental office, for sure.
Yes.
No, it's true. Fereshta has an integral part in the design and the ambiance of our practice. Like she said, her background was always in arts. I think that's somewhat what introduced us in each other to some degree.
Absolutely.
But when we decided to design our practice, I knew that Fereshta had quite the good eye for interior design, not just making things look good, but feeling good when you're there. So she was able to implement a lot of her ideas into what we created into this practice. I myself always had an interest for the arts. I think it's the only thing that veered me slightly off of the objective studies I was doing. While I was studying biology and psychology, along the way I loved drawing, carving, and even
Yes.
photography. The three things seemed to always interest me. If I needed to tune out of my work, I did it. Or if I had some extra careers or studies I wanted to take, I went that route. Where I was really happy was that seemed to amalgamate perfectly with dentistry. In dentistry, a lot of what we do is having a vision and finding a way to get you there, whether that's refining someone's goals or establishing something that they want. And I think having a good understanding in three-dimensional art, photography,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
color understanding really seems to play a role. So again, I think we amalgamated this together because Fresh is able to bring in a lot of her experience with art and interior design into our environment, and I'm able to execute what our patients' goals are. So I think that's one of the most important aspects of our choice in dentistry, but also what makes us enjoy doing what we do.
Exactly,
Art.
Yes.
absolutely. And as you notice, some of the paintings and stuff that we've chosen for the practice, we've made sure to select views and things that when patients are sitting across from it, they feel at ease and more relaxed rather than feeling anxious. Yes.
Yes.
We had the lucky opportunity to work in a few different practices early in our career, and we're able to pick up what seemed to work, what didn't, and we noticed how even a certain color, the way it's displayed, has a complete impact on the way patients felt. We worked in practices that maybe were a little cold or hospital-like, and it seemed to bring everybody's energy in that level. And we, although we didn't want to go off of healthcare and create just a spa, we wanted that sense and feeling in our practice. And I think that with Freshly Health, we executed that very well.
Yes.
It was both of us applying everything we know for sure.
Yeah. So when someone comes in, it has a welcoming feeling.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
And that is important for sure.
Yes.
It was when we designed the office, even our reception, we really wanted, dentistry has a lot of fear involved with it. The unknown,
Yes.
the worry of the things that you've heard about or what you might fear you have to go through. So I think that alone keeps you hesitant to walk in and make that effort. I can't tell how many times I see a patient that hasn't been here for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And the first thing common I have to tell them is good on you. You've made that effort to walk in.
Yes.
But we wanted to bridge that gap by creating an environment where even by walking outside, you feel welcome to walk in. We wanted our staff to sit in a position that they can engage you when you come in. So I think creating that welcoming environment
That was
was very important in giving the patients that experience.
I can't help but say you are a power couple.
Oh, thank you so much.
What is your recipe for balancing such a successful career and a family? And
Thank you so much. I feel like it is a balance, having that good balance between work and life and being able to manage both in a healthier way where we get enough leisure time with ourselves and our kids and family members, and then back to focusing on our business and what the business needs for sure. That's our main priority, is to be able to create an environment, a place for a lot of patients who are nervous, who are not, haven't been for a long time, and creating that environment where they feel welcome. So that's always been the goal, and then balancing our personal life with business life. We try our best to manage them in a healthy way.
Well, that is a recipe, and I mean in a positive way in progress. I think that life continues to change its pace, get busier and not. You call us a power couple. I think that's a very humbling and kind comment. We don't walk in thinking that way, but we commit ourselves to each other in that sense. We both learned very early the importance of having a successful business and family. And I think making the choice to work together has so many benefits, but we wanted to make sure to balance that with not taking away from our kids and having both parents fully committed to work. So I am quite proud with Fresh's amazing commitment as a mother and as a business partner. We found a good balance, as she said, the ability to find a work-life balance where we are able to give the best of ourselves to our patients, make sure we're available to their needs, but don't neglect our family life, especially in its formative years. I find that our kids are going through that phase. And for our own well-being too, I think when you grow with your family, you grow healthy too. So finding that balance and being being a power couple together is
Yes.
definitely a recipe that we just keep working at, and we welcome it. It's quite, that's I think the most exciting
I
part of
think
this.
so.
Yes.
Finding a way, and even finding opportunities to be with you in this setting too. It's
Yes.
quite neat.
Well, you have
Thank
such
you.
passion in, what you do,
Thank you.
and
We love doing what we do. That's for
Yes.
sure.
It gives us the drive. I think,
yes,
luckily, going back to your first question is, how did you know dentistry is for us? We feel blessed that we were able to find the career that was for us. Sometimes maybe
Yes.
you don't cross paths to see it.
Mhm.
So to be able to enjoy what you're doing really makes it easy to find that balance. So I think that's been the most lucky part of our job.
Definitely, we feel it's rewarding for sure.
100%.
To be able to work with each other, I get to see him every day and work with him. I think that is definitely I love it so much, and I feel like Dr. Deheshi wears so many different hats. Being a
Yes.
father at home and working with tools and fixing things, and then being there for our kids and business, of course.
Well, coming from a mom, that's an overstatement.
He does a very good job. That's for sure. Yes.
I appreciate the comments, but I definitely have a vision in our life, but blessed to have someone with us that helps find the pathway there many times through our family
Yes.
business.
It couldn't have worked
We're
between with either or. It had to be.
Yeah, I
in a
think
way.
that's probably the recipe. We're two members of it, and we quite enjoy doing it.
Yes, absolutely.
and you made an impact in the industry and in your practice, which is a nice
you.
balance. Like you're
Yes.
giving.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what? I think that with impact, Fereshta will actually comment. It's been an exciting.
We are so proud to be able to impact our community in a very healthy way. We've done a few things to kind of help our community grow and raise awareness for oral health.
Yes.
We've done a little bit of attending schools, primary schools, for educating young kids about oral health and preparing hygiene kits to give away to them and pamphlets with more information, how to manage, their primary teeth and brush and floss daily, to helping those that's in need. We've done a little bit of outreach with women in poverty in the past, and also have done some charitable work for those that's in need, because there's so many people out there that they have no way of having any source of help when it comes to dentistry, and so we're so proud to be able to do those little things that helps our community for sure. And
No, I agree. Like going back, we've been at this for quite some time, but I feel like we're in just the thick of it. So it's hard to pull your head out and see how have you impacted your industry. I love that question because it makes you self-reflect a little bit, and it even makes you see forward in a clear vision. But I also believe that making big changes starts with the little small acts. And that we never forgot. Early in my career, I was young, passionate. I did everything from volunteering abroad to northern communities, spent some time in Nunavut. Also within our own small cities, and where everybody with a need was there, we made sure we helped. But along the way, making that impact in your community and your patients, every little step along the way helps too. Working with the schools was a very neat program.
that was
There were kindergartens and grade ones, like very early in their career, in their formative years. And for us to go and make dentistry fun, our goal was to have a dentist come and not look intimidating to them and have them be engaged about dental work. So that was a really, really neat experience.
Yes, we've done some cute posters with like colorful things, so kids can pick up what's a cavity and what's not.
Yeah, making a game out of things.
Cool.
It was quite fun.
Doing some creative games. It was really definitely impressive for them.
And working with the communities that are in need was very important to us. I think we live in large cities, but it's quite common how certain niche groups are overlooked, and especially in dentistry, it's a very financially cumbersome field at times, and some people either don't have access to care or the finances in that. So we've really tried within our way to spend time with groups, but as well keep our door open. There are times we can identify that somebody's in true need, and we need to step up to help them get through that first hump to get there. But then also impacting our industry has been something that is hard to really identify, but it's something that we also never take lightly. From early in our career, we wanted to be a part of as many study clubs and networking groups as we could, not only to impact them, but to learn from them and learn how we can come back and feed our own industry. And that's something that we quite enjoyed. We learned a lot and we've given a lot back. And we have a lot more commitments over the next decade or two to be able to have more time to implement policy and things like that. But to me, one of the most neat things that I got to do was working with sport groups and community centers.
Yes.
Not very early, actually, just some time ago, I always had an interest in working with athletic teams. But I was even got lucky to work with Vancouver Giants for a couple of years. I was one of the members of the team dentists. And that was truly an inspiring time that I spent. Seeing young athletes, quite young, 16, 15, up to 18, working so hard, committed to a craft, and never looking for a reason to give up. So it was a great experience for me, but I think they taught me something in return. So every time I feel that we've learned something, it was at a time that we tried to impact our community. So for that reason, I hope that we continue to elevate our footprint in our industry, our community, and our patients. But then there's a lot more opportunities to come along the way.
Absolutely.
So lovely. And so tell us about what is preventive dentistry? Like, what does that look like?
Preventative dentistry is a big part of what we do on a daily basis. Going through the process of what is needed on a daily basis for patients, encouraging them to visit their dentist once or twice a year for general cleanings and checkups, and maintaining that good oral health as it affects our overall body as well. So really going through the process. Often we hear from patients that part of the reason they have ignored their oral health for so long is due to a bad experience they may have had in the past. So really working with them through those experiences and reassuring them that Solo Dental is a place where you can feel at ease and your questions are heard and you're acknowledged, most important. We're so lucky and blessed to have a great dentist like Dr. Deheshi that understands patient care, and of course we're proud to be a part of his team. Patients, they do feel nervous at times, and most often is the thought of not knowing what to expect. So our job here, not only doing preventive dentistry, is to really educate our patients and make sure that they understand how the process works, and making sure that we coordinate all those appointments with them, making them feel at ease when it comes to financials and everything is we walk them through in advance before their appointments. So
I think Fereshta nailed it. Prevention is important, but the ability to initiate that is just as important. So prevention is once you come and see us, and I'll like to elaborate more on that. But what I love about our practice and what Fereshta does is to alleviate the reservation to come in and initiate that, whether it's your first time or the repeated cycle of it. So for them to take all the worries of finances and fears away allows people to be on a regular maintenance, which is really what prevention is about. When I entered this career, dentistry, although was improving, was not in a good place relative to today. People were losing teeth at all times. Periodontal disease was still quite advanced. Prevention, to some degree, meant elimination. You had to get rid of bad teeth, re-improve, get patients to a healthy state. That was a consequence of dentistry that hadn't quite evolved yet. But over the last 20 years, the young population have had a great opportunity to start early in their life with preventive care. Preventive care in general involves regular checkups, dental cleanings, and early care to your teeth when they first arrive in your mouth, in your 12 and under years old. We really spend a lot of our time educating our patients, not only on what we're doing for them, but how they can maintain that preventive care over time. But prevention now involves cleaning, early orthodontics. Correcting your malalignment and crowding is not sometimes just an aesthetic concern, although many times it can be. For some children, it may be causing a skeletal concern, a facial deformity, or a bite problem that can lead to bigger problems. Today, clenching and grinding has become a very serious thing. I see it on commercials now, talking about clenching and grinding, and it's something that it can best be managed through prevention. Therefore, relying on your dental experts, on our team to be educated on what to foresee is the best way to be preventive. But I can't state how prevention, in my opinion, is the most instrumental aspect of dentistry, and why I am actually quite proud to be in a profession that over the last 30 years has actually cured a lot of conditions. Periodontal disease, severe gingivitis, TMD, severe headaches, a lot of them were rampant when I started by applying the needed treatments to them and being more preventive rather than management. I think that we've been able to, if not eliminate, reduce them to a far lesser impact than we have today. So prevention is quite important.
As we often encourage our young patients to bring their young little ones for their initial visits at our office to help warm them up into the environment and to start young. I always say, remember, we get one set of teeth for the rest of our lives. And it's important that we take good care of them so they can take good care of us in return. So again, just like Dr. Deheshi said, starting young, starting early, coming in for regular checkups, cleanings, it is a big part of prevention for sure.
And one motivating aspect I tell my patients, the preventive side of dentistry is not only the most cost-effective side, it's actually the easiest side. Very pain-free, quite straightforward, and that's it. So that often motivates patients to be more on the
and it keeps your features healthier and more youthful. I think a lot of young generation, they are looking forward to having whiter teeth, brighter teeth, and a smile. So again, maintaining that on a daily or on a yearly basis, it will help them achieve those youthful smiles, and it will help them in the long run whether they're looking for a new job or a partner or anything like that can help maintain your smile. Definitely beautiful.
Yes, and in nutrition, right? Good nutrition.
Great comment. Nutrition is something that we're taking a lot more serious today. I think as an overall healthcare and generally in medicine, nutrition has become so important. But even how we advise patients, many times malnutrition leads to a lot of dental conditions or susceptibility where you're not able to fight the problem as easily. Quite often, some of my mentors, I remember when I would go to their advanced treatments such as implantology, things like that, they would end the treatment not giving patients just antibiotics. What I was impressed was talking about improving their vitamins, their nutrition. They would put them on a protein, calcium, and vitamin diet over the next 4 weeks. And that was a good reminder to me what an important role nutrition plays not only in the health of our teeth, but in our resistance to problems. Second, unfortunately, sometimes some of the good dietary nutritions that we do might be hard on our teeth. Patients don't know it. I can't stress enough, I don't say stop it, but lemon water is a great advice that people do. But there are ways you can go about it because lemon water can be tough on your teeth sometimes. But I tell my patients it's a balance. You may not want to sip on it throughout the day and take it down in more of a one-time unit, as well, making sure your teeth are healthy and resistant to it. So in my opinion, I think that nutrition is very important, but nutritional counseling and our hygienists and our team are trained in that. In the 1 hour that you come and spend for your cleaning, it is not just cleaning. Throughout the cleaning, we're giving you advice and identifying specifically to you and your habits and your choices by sometimes having a direct conversation and seeing what's in your mouth, what you may want to be cautious of or change or modify in a way that you can have the benefits of that change, but as well not have it have a negative impact on your teeth. So nutrition and counseling are very important.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, so tell us other services that you offer.
Other services. We offer general dentistry. That's what Dr. Deheshi does. Along with general dentistry, we do offer, therapeutic Botox treatment. That's more for TMD, helping you with headaches and all that. We're hoping to introduce IV rejuvenation. That's something that will hopefully help patients, get those vitamins and things that their body needs. Other than that, having a calm and clean environment for our patients and providing TVs and headphones to distract our patients from, there's a lot of patients out there that they are afraid of just the noise that's in the dental setting. So having those headphones will help block the noise for them. And entertainment, of course, we've got Netflix and all those entertainments that they can easily, for an hour appointment, be able to watch a show they like, or a movie that they like. So those are the distractions that we have, which is a good distraction for those that are nervous, and keeps them going.
It's true, and Fereshta mentioned that we bring them up as our extra services because we don't see them as just an adjunct, as a side benefit or a little sprinkles on the icing.
Yes.
We see these extra things as we commit to our equipping our practice with it, committing financially to having these things to our staff and our patients, to make sure that you don't just come in for the dental experience, but also for the overall experience that you will get as a person. So a lot of what Fereshta said, although not dental, there are extra services that without a fee we offer our patients. But as far as dental goes too, yes, we're known to do preventive dentistry. I think that's the bread and butter of what we do for our patients. But I am quite proud that over my early years, I wanted to make sure that I'm quite well versed in dentistry. Part of that was to make sure patients, with my background in psychology, every time you send a patient off, although there are times needed to require a specialist, a little bit of that fear comes back into the patient. So equipping our practice and my own skill set to take care of most of our patients' needs was very important, not for our benefit, but that of our patients. So along with preventive dentistry, we offer general dentistry, restorations, crown and bridge, root canals, anything that if you unfortunately need, we have a very comfortable and easy way to provide that for you. But additional treatments, I was lucky enough to actually be selected to go through hospital training with oral surgery department. That general practice residency not only gave me an intensive 1-year experience in plastic surgery, emergency, and oral surgery, it also allowed me to be trained and certified in IV sedation. So one aspect that we provide is not just oral sedation, but IV sedation to our patients. With fear and phobia, many times you can, through good chairside manners, help a patient alleviate their fears. But depending on the length of the treatment, their own concerns, you may need an adjunct to help them come through. So we're quite proud to say for over the last 18 years, we have been able to quite successfully provide a lot of our patients with IV solutions, where those that could have simply not by any shape or form get the dental treatment that they needed are now able to go through that. Botox has been a very exciting thing that we brought in. Although Botox is not a new concept, dentistry is applying it a lot more. As we all know, Botox took a cosmetic approach very fast, rightfully so. But Botox initially was meant for muscle management, spasms, and headaches. And it's that area that I think dentists, we understand quite well. And it's a part of how I manage my patients' problems. Unfortunately, after the COVID experience, I think stress levels went a lot higher. We started to see TMD at an all-time high, dental destruction from clenching at an all-time high, where now just preventive care such as night guards, occlusal protection, wasn't able to protect the problem. Bringing in a Botox was an immensely great solution because before, as a doctor, we had to give a patient a muscle relaxant medication that affects their entire system. But to be able to give a very accurate position of a treatment that a patient needs for a specific condition is quite nice. That being said, I think the side effect of a cosmetic benefit seems to also really make patients more satisfied. So we're able to provide what we call therapeutic Botox treatments, and have been quite successful.
Teeth whitening,
teeth whitening and cosmetic procedures. I think that's something
everything.
that spends time every day talking to patients, and more patients are inquiring more than we need to tell them. They're asking us about it.
Yes, absolutely. I think everybody wants to look great nowadays, and why not if you can, right? So having not only beautiful smile, that's healthy gums, healthier teeth, and then if Botox can help alleviate those many little wrinkles around the eyes and everything else, I would say I would do it. So we encourage a lot of our patients to not only look at it in the health aspect, but also in rejuvenation and youthful.
A white healthy smile, in my opinion, a healthy smile is what you truly are proud of. A healthy teeth and a smile that shines from within is truly a beautiful smile. The increase in cosmetic work are sometimes patients that maybe needed it for their own requirements. But I also think we're living in a world where we're more on Zoom meetings. Social media has us looking at our own face and other people as examples quite a bit more. And it's an exciting time that those that have that wish can have it fulfilled. I think that today's modern dentistry, through very safe whitening techniques or minimally invasive techniques, can take somebody's a lot closer to the goal that they want. So cosmetic procedures and whitening is something that we've always done and seem to see a higher demand of it more and more. Where I play a role as their dentist is to make sure it's done in a healthy manner. I think that cosmetic work, to get bright white smile, is very easy. But to have it be natural, be a part of you, and not cause you harm throughout your life, that's something that I think you need to rely on your dental expert. And we're quite proud that we have a very well-versed expertise over the last 2 decades to provide that to the patient. It's unfortunate that due to economics, you see sometimes abroad dentistry. I understand where people go, but it's nice to see with more education today, patients are actually seeking local professionals and dentists to get a better idea of how can they reach these cosmetic goals, but don't put themselves in harm's way. I think that's really important to me. And I love that we live in a city that's also important to our patients too.
And having a one dentist look after your oral health is also very important, to be under one umbrella for sure.
Yes.
Where you're not seeing multiple dentists, but you're seeing one dentist that caters to your needs. Especially Dr. Deheshi, and he's extremely caring and compassionate towards his patients, and I see that everybody loves to see him and getting his expertise when it comes to general health.
With our experience, one of the biggest shortcomings that Fereshta and I identified were that sometimes with the good intention, there was too many visions in one roof, under one roof. Multiple dentists where everyone played the same leadership role. And sometimes one patient would unfortunately fall under multiple different visions. There was in the earlier days where practices were able to maintain group practices, where still individual groups of patients had one type of care. Sometimes a patient's experience can be less predictable for them and unappealing to them when the vision changes a lot. Quite often we are proud that we're able to provide a one vision as a doctor, actually as a one vision as a management, as a leader of the practice too, where the experience that patients get doesn't change. And going back to our services, that consistency is what seems to bring more and more referrals to us. And that referral is completely based on trust. So very important.
I want to thank you both for being on the program. I could talk to you all day. You know, you are a power couple. I have to tell
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Very embarrassing. Thank you.
For people who want to reach out to you, where can they go?
Many different ways. We've got our website, Solo Dental website that they can look into, and there's Instagram that we have, Facebook. We're starting to be a little bit active.
Social media, you know, we're definitely having a stronger and stronger web presence. But we felt that number one, where to find us was set ourselves up in a location that's very central.
Yes.
Where we are in Solo District, next to Brentwood Mall, in the heart of Northern Burnaby. Our vision was 6 or 7 years before we actually were able to get this location. We had a vision of this place because we felt what we do, we don't want to overly advertise it because the vision can be lost. So to put ourselves in a central location in this Brentwood area was very important to us, and we're very lucky that was able to happen. Having a really good, strong web presence, Google, I think, is not hard to find us on Google if you research us, but as well on more social media. We have tried to avoid the pitfalls of social media taking us off of our professional vision, but we've also made sure that to keep a footprint on social media, as more and more people and the younger population are relying more on that than Google today. And lastly, being on the word of mouth, maybe around a dinner table. That's very important to us. Yeah. Part of why we think being kind and good is important is not only do patients appreciate that, but when they're satisfied with you, they can't help but to want to speak about you when that right time comes. So relying on that patient-to-patient referral is very important to us because, yes, it is a part of revenue and patients coming into a business, but more for us, it's important that we've done the right job. Somebody has found trust in us to refer somebody that they care for a lot back to us. So being on people's mind and their presence is very important to being easily accessible. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And for those patients that are wanting to know what would they expect coming here, we often say, we love seeing, new patients, existing patients. Often we treat our patients like family, and really acknowledging them and understanding their needs and their goals is very important to us. So we make sure that, again, customer service is extremely important. We've got a great team of, our team is amazing in providing great care for our patients. They're all very caring and compassionate, and they love what they do, just like me and Dr. Deheshi. So we are so proud, and we are very sure that a lot of patients that would come to us, they would love being part of a team that is catering to them and their needs, for sure.
Versus leadership exudes here. I think
Thank
that
you.
to not acknowledge the team that plays a role in what we do is a shortcoming. A lot of our vision is our foresight, but we count ourselves quite blessed and lucky to be able to come across not only great people like yourself,
Yes.
but also great staff that are willing to be a part of that vision with us. Day-to-day income is not enough to drive someone to want to make a difference. And when we can work with people that are like-minded and find a way to inspire them, we consider ourselves blessed, because it is them, our team, and our staff that are truly the driving point of our vision. And we never want to overlook that. And we hope that in our message, we truly make it come across that our biggest blessing in our success is the team that stands with us.
Absolutely.
Wonderful
Thank
said.
you for having us.
Thank
very
you
much.
both. Yes.
Thank you.
This was a great experience, Chris, and thank you for having us. Working with you has been extremely pleasant, extremely kind, and you absolutely not only alleviated any unknowns for this interview, but you've made this experience unlike any that we've had before and quite pleasant. Thank you.
It takes a team. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks
Thank
for
you for your
having
time.
us.